Let's make some noise. Come on.
Right, indeedy, Nick Foles. Let's make some noise. I'm sorry. I keep screwing it up. Super Bowl MVP, Nick Foles. Let's make some noise. Thank you very much for that rousing introduction, Nick Foles. Sorry, Super Bowl MVP, Nick Foles. Welcome back to the Final Word here on the It's a Wrap Sports Network with your boy MattyB on the call on our Sunday first episode of our broadcast week edition. Final Sunday episode of 2025. Where did the year go? And tonight, yeah, that's right. We got an Eagle win, man. Victory Sunday night, 13-12 over them Buffalo Bills up there in Orchard Park, rainy Orchard Park. You know, when you equate Orchard Park and the Buffalo Bills in late December, rain does not come to mind. But it was raining in Buffalo, and the Eagles were playing, at least in one of the halves they were, as a complete team. Well, not even that. 3/4 of the team played in one half at least. Josh Allen, obviously that foot was a little bit worse than I thought it was. I know it showed up there on the injury report this week that he's dealing with a foot issue. He was out there running around like Long John Silver on a peg leg, man. I mean, that guy didn't have no mobility at all. The Eagle defense came to play, and the Eagle offense, well, the Eagle offense was 2025, and its essence of Eagles offensive football. Jalen Hurts, man, your elite quarterback, the man, the myth, the legend, Super Bowl MVP Jalen Hurts. I want to give him the proper respect. Completed 0 passes in the second half of this football game. Not 1, not 2, 0. Z-E-R-O passes in the second half. But we're going to sit here tonight based on some earlier stuff that I heard, and we're going to blame the officials, right? We're going to run on to the official coattails, say, oh, this game was completely thrown by the refs, man. Oh, we got hosed. Quinyon Mitchell, say it ain't so. You got a pass interference call? The guy is more handsy than I was as a teenager in the movie theater with whatever girl from Mayfair I could talk into going with me. That's how handsy he is. But yeah, we're going to get upset when he gets called for a very obvious pass interference when he has the offhand hooked here. Come on, man. We're better than that. Nah, we're not going to sit and talk about what matters. We're not going to sit and talk about this offense could not find their way out of one of my wet, you know what? We're not going to talk about that. We're going to blame the refs. Yeah, we're going to hang on to the refs' coattails, man. It's the WWE, and we got the mean refs, man. We got them refs in our corner. We're not going to talk about how we still cannot find an offensive identity through 16 games. And we're out of time, folks. There's no more meaningful football for the Eagles until they get into that wild card round against whoever. We're going to talk about the officials. We're not going to get into the offense. We're not going to talk why Saquon Barkley, 19 carries, 68 yards. Jalen Hurts, 13 for 27 and a touchdown for 110 yards and no completions in the second half. We're not going to spend time discussing that. Nah, we're going to talk about the refs, how they have it in for us. And we're going to go into the playoffs feeling, and I don't know if you're right or wrong about this one, that this defense can carry you to a Super Bowl. They may. They are that good. They are playing that good as they single-handedly took care of business with the help of the Buffalo Bills coach a little bit. Some questionable play calls there. You know, when it's 4th and goal at the 1 and it's the 5-minute remaining mark of the third quarter, you're down 13-0. I don't know. Your offense has been struggling. Take the points, man. I know they have issues with their kicker. Jalen Carter saved the day. By the way, Jalen Carter, based on that one play, is my game MVP. Saved the game for the Eagles. But Eagles do win 13-12. They are now 11-5 as they have pretty much finished the season, as we will go into next week against the Commanders, and I will start. I've already been given the play sheet. I got 19 calls that I'm going to be behind center on Sunday against the Commanders. So get ready for that one. That's going to be fun. Maybe I'll complete a pass. Maybe I can do that. Our elite quarterback can't. but maybe I can. So we're going to talk Eagles. Heavy Eagles tonight. We also are going to get into some day in Philadelphia sports history, your card review, and your other night segment. Got Flyers hockey going on as I speak, and plus we got that covered here on the It's a Wrap Sports Network. Here's your schedule for actually next week. This is not even tonight, but this is next week's schedule. I kind of jumped ahead. Let's go back. Let's go to the Clear the Ice. There we are. Mike Laro will have you tonight, as Mike will bookend the day. He was the first show. He'll be the last. He's got the Clear the Ice. I got it on Tuesday and Wednesday as I'll ring in the new year in Calgary with you, and then Mike will take you back on Saturday against Edmonton as they'll travel back home after their Pacific Northwest / Western Canadian road trip. And then here you go. Here's what's coming up on the network this week. Tomorrow, Pittsburgh Sports Tonight, me. Pittsburgh Sports Tonight on Tuesday, locks, props, and parlays. Final word, me. And then Flyers Canucks. A lot of me on Tuesday. Then on New Year's Eve, we're going to run the best of the It's a Wrap Sports for the week like we did on Christmas Eve. We're going to do that from 8 a.m. until whenever. But at 4 p.m., it is confirmed. Locked, stocked, and barreled. Kyle Quinn will join me for a live edition of the Birds Blast at 4 p.m. on New Year's Eve. That is a done deal. It's in the chute. We got it locked in. So be here at 4 p.m. on Wednesday, New Year's Eve, for some Birds Blast. And then we're going to finish it up with me. No, I don't have myself down on the final word because I am going to try to spend somewhat of a New Year's Eve as a normal person. And but I'll come back at you with the Flyers Flames. So no final word on Wednesday night, but I'll be back later on for the Flyers Flames Clear the Ice, and then on New Year's Day, probably some more best of, and then me at 9:00, and then Philly Friday Frenzy as we move it to our post-holiday, early 2026 format, and then Saturday the Flyers Oilers, and another chock-full day on Sunday, Philly AM Sports. That pregame Steel City Sunday, that's probably going to be changed. They're probably going to flex that game. It's a 1:00 start, Steelers and Ravens, but that's for all the marbles in the AFC North. So they're probably going to do something with that game on Sunday. So that time may change, and we'll keep you up to date on that. And, of course, they'll be followed with the Steel City postgame. And then we'll do a Birds flyby, Eagles Commanders, and then I'll wrap things up Sunday night with the final word. So there you have it. That's what's happening on the network this week as we ring in 2026 on the It's a Wrap Sports Network. The only way we possibly can. The Eagles survived Buffalo, but Sirianni and Patullo are lost. Star Wars flying in on the top rope there. What's going on there, Star Wars? Star Wars, listen, man, it really comes down to execution for me. I'm sorry. I'm not blaming the head coach and the offensive coordinator for Jalen Hurts' inability to complete a pass in the second half. I'm not. Now, I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to continue to play revolving door offensive coordinators, right? Kevin Patullo is still considered a hot commodity for a head coaching job in 2026. He's doing something right. I'm not telling you he's the greatest. Now, Nick Sirianni is a buffoon. I'll give you that. That's always been the way. But this is the defending Super Bowl champions. And I have never seen an offense. And, again, we're going to get into the Homer talk tonight because it's going to. I got no choice, man. They threw down the gauntlet. All right? I got to get into the Homers, man. I definitely got to address that. But this is defending Super Bowl champions. And you're going to try to extrapolate the goodness from tonight's game. And that defense, man. And it's funny because way back when, I actually had the most concerns about the defense heading into the season because of all the loss that they suffered in that offseason. But without this defense, I'm telling you, man, but Homers won't address this. The Homers will not talk about this point right here. Without this defense, this football team is 7-7. Or I guess it would be what? 8-7. No, they'd be 8-8. They'd be 8-8 right now without this defense. An 8-8 football team. Hands down. Maybe worse. And to have an offense that you've invested over, $250 gazillion in with all the talent allegedly on this offense, and they can't get out of friggin' neutral? I mean, is there some play calling issues? Is there some scheme issues? Yeah. But why? I mean, we talked about this months or weeks ago, right? Kevin Petula is not on the sidelines twisting his handlebar mustache going, I am going to send him in the stupidest play I know. No, he's not doing that. He's running an offense that he believes is tailored to the skill set of his quarterback. So I want, God help, please, somebody out there come flying in with the Jalen Hurts' elite nonsense tonight. I want to hear that tonight. I want to go. Let's go. How much of a homer is a homer tonight? Give me Jalen Hurts as an elite quarterback tonight. God help me. Give it to me. I want it bad. Right? Give me Jalen Hurts as an elite quarterback tonight. I mean, so listen, are they lost? Yeah, maybe. I think Nick Sirianni has been lost since he stepped into this city. Kevin Petula, is he lost? I don't know. Is he lost, or is he doing the best possible job he has to work with? No one looks at that side of the coin. We just want to castrate the guy. And again, he's not out there executing. I'm not supporting. I'm not sitting here telling you that you're wrong. I'm not. But I'm also not going to sit here and tell you that that's the reason why this offense is struggling. Now, I know there was a time not too long ago when we had September to lean on. Remember that? It's September. It's the extended preseason. We'll be fine. We'll work out the bugs. Then we bled into October. Nothing changed. Then we bled into November. Nothing changed. Now we're damn near December's done. Well, it is done. Nothing's changed. So you tell me, is it the coordinator? Is it? Or is it the people on the field? The elite quarterback? The elite, the MVP, the Super Bowl MVP, Jalen Hurts. Well, where's the it factor? Well, hey, Al, Big Al, if you're out there with your ears on tonight, I want to ask you a question. What was the it factor tonight? Huh? What is no completions in the second half? What it factor is that? Jalen Hurts won this football game tonight because of his defense. Jalen Hurts has won, what? What was it now? 10, 11 games this year because of his defense. Nothing Jalen Hurts has done this season has led the Eagles to a victory. But which is fine. Sometimes you need the whole team. Most of the time you need the whole team. It's a team sport. And this is where the argument gets cloudy, right? This is where that argument always takes the wrong turn, and I get thrown into the hater nation because I am not going to give credit for the Eagles' success to one player. I'm not. Jalen Hurts did not win the Super Bowl last year. It was the team. Jalen Hurts certainly didn't win this game last night. It was the defense. So it's not a matter or a question of me hating Jalen Hurts or thinking that he's a scrub quarterback. I do not. I think he's a very good quarterback. He is not elite. Jalen Hurts is a benefactor of the Philadelphia Eagles. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. They're winning. But we got to live a different way here in this town. We got to have the best, or at least we got to think we got the best. But man, you got me spinning off into a Jalen Hurts rant. Adam, what's going on? How are you tonight? Looks like Jake Elliott is back. Yeah, that was, listen, special teams in general. Braden Mann, whatever his name is, booming punts all night long. Jake Elliott got me 8 fantasy points. As I'm in my championship game right now. I'm on the way to victory. My first championship victory since 2004. So, yeah, Jake Elliott does definitely seem to be back, kicking in not the greatest of conditions out in Buffalo in the rain. Yeah, that was a plus. Absolutely. You're going to need your field goal kicker. Buffalo wish they had Jake Elliott tonight. They certainly wish they had him. I think thanks for Jake Elliott. Make those, but I won't say he's back. I mean, listen, Jake Elliott deserves the opportunity to work out whatever he's dealing with. I mean, the guy has earned that right? And at this stage of the game, you're going to end up with somebody like the Bills had tonight. That's who you're going to end up with. The cupboard's kind of slim when it comes to replacement kickers heading into Week 18 into the playoffs. I mean, the best bet you got is what you got. I'm not saying it's great, and maybe the Eagles do look at another direction this offseason in the kicking realm. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But deviating it from it right now, it makes absolutely no sense at all. None. Defense was all over. Yeah, no, and Adam, as I said, kind of at the top of the show, 100% agree. If this defense has not been playing the way it's been playing all season, this team is definitely not a playoff team. It's not a playoff. If this defense, now I don't think they're playing like they were playing last year. I don't, but they're not far off from that. The one thing that they're not doing that they did abundantly, the only thing they're not doing that I thought was really what put them over the top last year was forcing oodles and oodles of turnovers. And they got one tonight, right? Was it one? Yeah, they got one more tonight. But other than that, man, it's been a miracle and amazing thing to see. And it's really miraculous that one side of the football can maintain and carry the other side so goddamn much. We're through week 16, or we're through game 16, week 17. And you don't know what the offensive identity of the football team is. But as the title of this show, Adam, indicates, tonight, I cracked the code, or I say we did. You guys helped me crack this code. I know what the identity of the team is. I do. I figured it out. It only took me 16 games, but I got the identity. It's the defense, right? This team will go as far as the defense will carry it. 100%. You heard it here first. Now, the Hurts huggers out there, they may not like that. They may not like that proclamation from a good old MattyB, but that is what I see. This team will go as far as the defense can carry it, which is fine. 100% fine. It may be able to take them all the way. It's happened in the past. Hell, kind of happened last year. Saquon had a lot to do with it too, but we've seen the 85 Bears and the 2000 Ravens. They've done it. I am not putting the Eagles defense in the same class as the 85 Bears or the 2000 Ravens. There is no Ray Lewis on this football team right now. Right now. There might be one here in a few years, but there's no Ray Lewis on this football. There's no dent on the Eagles football team right now. Jalen Carter sure as hell might grade out that way when it's all said and done. But the Eagles have a chance, a very good one, to take their defense all the way to the Super Bowl, because that's what's going to happen. That's the only way they're winning it, is if the defense can greatly assist them to the finish line, because the offense ain't doing it. The offense ain't cutting it. And your GM, that fraud-ass Howie Roseman, probably needs to relook what he's done offensively on this football team. Probably needs to kind of start moving some of that money around and jettisoning some players to bring in maybe some more help. Not fire the coordinator. Why don't we look at upgrading some of the positions? Why don't we look at why we can't move the football from A to B without falling down? Just say. Saquon is are you trying to piss me off? Oh, come. Saquon is elite. And it upsets me to say this, because I like Saquon. The last year was a lightning in the bottle kind of year, but he's rushed for over 1,000 yards this season. Very uninspiringly has rushed over 1,000 yards. But when you're looking at, what was those illustrious numbers tonight? 19 carries for 68 yards. I don't know, Star Wars. I don't know how elite that is. All right. That's right below not being able to complete a pass in the second half. All right, man. Woo. I don't know. I think he had one. I saw one run off to the left where he kind of spun and he got maybe 10, 15 yards. Other than that, all I was looking up and seeing was Saquon Barkley getting pushed back about 5 yards every time he touched the football. So, and of course we've locked him in long term, which again, I like Saquon. I just think that might have been a mistake. So I don't know. No, he's not elite. Could he be elite? We've seen him. Could he be elite again? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Again, the falling off of Saquon Barkley so drastically. Where is that? How did that happen? How did that happen? Okay. Kaepernick was up. The Eagles offense is a fraud, and so are the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, listen, Josh Allen. All right. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I've actually spent any time really dissecting Josh Allen's play until tonight. And what I saw a quarterback that was injured, a lot more than what I think he's trying to let on, and a lot more than what the Buffalo Bills are letting on. There's something wrong with his foot. I mean, that guy was straight up hobbling out there. But boy, oh boy, some of the stupidest decisions I've seen with the football were made tonight by that guy. And, he got sacked 5 times. It could have been a lot more. And he was being pinballed around. His offensive line, again, did not give him any, didn't help him. He was constantly under duress. Now, that's mainly probably due to the Eagles. So you got to give the Eagles credit there. But Josh Allen still managed to throw for over 260 yards. Right? And he came, honestly, within a throw off a back foot to hitting that guy crossing across the end zone for the game winner. How much of a kick in the ass would that game have been if the Eagles would have lost that at the last second? I mean, we're talking a different tune right now because they won. But there would be no living with me if he would have completed that pass. I would have been all over this offense. Worse than I am right now. But, yeah, I mean, listen, the Eagles handled them. And again, I'm going to go back to the code I've cracked. Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl. You heard it here first. The Eagles will win the Super Bowl if their defense can carry them the rest of the way. Big if. But they will do it if that defense can do what they've been doing all season. And that's a big if. That's a lot to ask for. And especially when you're getting no support at all from your offense. None. Mike Laro on the post game today alluded to the fact that the Eagles were moving the ball up and down the field in the first half. No, they weren't. They were not moving the football. This game turned on that tuck rule play where Josh Allen, I don't know what the hell he was doing, fumbled the football, and the Eagles recovered it back on the other side of the 50-yard line. That was the game. That was the football game. The Eagles weren't moving the ball at all in the first half. They had a few plays. They had a lot more plays than they had in the second half, but they were not moving the football. The offense was stuck in neutral. So to sit here and tell me that, I don't know what happened in the second half, well, let's go back to the first half. Let's go back to the first half. Without that play from Josh Allen, which, again, I'm not, it happened. It is what it is. This is a whole different football game. Eagles lose. If not for McDermott deciding to go for it on 4th and goal with 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter instead of taking the easy 3 points when your offense wasn't moving at all, this game is over. That's how close this game was. So dominating was the Eagle defense. It came down to a stupid decision by the other head coach and Josh Allen throwing off a hurt back foot and missing a wide open guy crossing across the end zone for a 2-point conversion. That's what this game came down to with such a dominating effort from the defense because they're getting no support from the offense. So please, let's just stop. Just for our own peace of mind. Let's stop talking about the eliteness of Jalen Hurts. Because there's nothing to stand on that tonight. There's nothing to stand on that all season. He's a good quarterback. He did absolutely nothing tonight to help this football team win. Nothing. And I don't see the homers tonight. They've all scattered in, somebody turned the lights off in the kitchen and all the cockroaches are, but as soon as those lights go on like tonight, boy, boom, they gone. 13-12 Eagles win. Yeah. All right, so listen, I am way off. Phone lines are open. So there you go. The link is now popping into all of your social media platforms that you're witnessing this show from. So please come on in. If you don't want to be seen, you don't have to be. Turn your camera off. But I have to be able to talk to you. Just click on that link. It's going to pop you backstage. I'll put you on, and we'll have some fun as we'll get into the conversation of the Eagles 13-12. I got the final word stat pack. We got all that stuff to get into. But let's get into our day in Philadelphia sports history. On this day, on December 28th, 1947. And again, I was not there. All right. Was not there for this. Before the Eagles notched their first championship victory over the Chicago Cardinals in 48, 7-0, they lost to the Cards 28-21 in their first ever NFL title game on this day in 47. Unlike the Birds' NFC Championship woes in the 2000s, the Birds of the 40s didn't repeat their initial failures. The Eagles would return to the championship game in 48 and 49, winning both of them under legendary head coach Greasy Neal. So there you go. So congratulations on the Eagles' very first ever NFL championship on this day in 1947. And again, no, I was not there. I was not there, okay? Against the Chicago Cardinals. Were they wearing helmets then? Yeah, they were. Yeah, the helmets were in the 40s, right? They were still wearing the leather helmets, though. No face masks. But no, I was not there. See, I got to ask if they were wearing leather helmets or not to prove that I was not there. So there you go. That is your moment or your day in Philadelphia sports history, brought to you by the fine folks here at the It's a Wrap Sports Network, creators of the Philly AM Sports program with Al and Mike. They were seen this morning, and they will be seen every Sunday morning at 9 p.m. So you can start your weekend, or I guess wrap up your weekend, start your Sunday. I guess we can start it somehow. Wrap up your Sunday in style. Only way that Big Al and Mike Laro can do. So make sure you're checking them out every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock. All right. So Papernick's asking me, yes, the phone lines are on. What happened to you? You were there a second ago. You fell off, Papernick. Cooper DeJean was the player of the game tonight. I disagree. I mean, listen, you can take about one of 5 or 6 different players off of that defense, Mike, and give them that honor. All right. But because it came down to really the game, in my opinion, Jalen Carter gets it for blocking that damn punt and then knocking down that ball. I mean, he's all over the place, right? I get it. I'm not gonna argue the fact that Cooper DeJean doesn't deserve it. He does. But for me, I'm gonna give it to Jalen Carter for knocking down that extra point. So Saquon and Big Are you trying to piss me off, Star Wars? Is this purposely being thrown at me here? Fire the OC and trade Brown and Hurts in the offseason. That would, listen, hey, Papernick, listen, that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea at all. And that's going to be a very contentious topic because we're going to bring it up, especially A.J. Brown. I think he's definitely needs to be moved, and why not? Why not look to move Jalen Hurts? If you can pick up some more capital and help you going on in the future, why not move him? I don't know what the hell why is everybody so tied to Jalen Hurts? Did absolutely nothing tonight. I don't remember ever a game, because we want to continuously bring up the elite quarterback topic when it comes to Hurts, which I have no problem with. We'll talk about it. I don't remember a game in Tom Brady's career where he didn't complete a pass in the second half or the first half. I certainly don't remember a game in Joe Montana's career where he never completed a pass in a half of football. I don't remember a game in Josh Allen's career where he didn't complete a pass in the second half or a first half of a football game. I don't remember any of that. This is a new low. I've never heard of an elite quarterback never completing a pass in a half of football. But I'm the crazy one. I'm the nut job. I'm the psychopath because I say Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback, but not elite. The Hurts huggers have a hit out on me because I am the one bringing down their cloud. Amazing. Merry Christmas, Michael Papernick. What's going on?
What's up, Matty? I like that. The Hurts huggers.
You like that?
You're giving me so much fuel to the fire for everybody, from buffoon to Hurts huggers. But you know what? I said the Eagles had to win by at least 13 points. This offense put 7 points up in 4 quarters, 1 touchdown, 1 legitimate touchdown. This team is dead in the water. First round, they might get, because they might get to the second because the NFC is horrible. I mean, so, and if to tell you what I'm saying, the Bills are frauds. if the Bills or the Ravens, if I hear anybody complain about them teams not getting to the Super Bowl, Kansas City, I said to you for the last 2 weeks, is not in the playoffs. Them two fraud teams, one of them should be in the Super Bowl because the Bengals ain't there with Joe Burrow, who the Eagles should trade for next year. He is the 2.0 Andrew Luck. He should go to Cincinnati and tell him, get me an offensive line or trade me. That's all he has to do, or I retire.
So, Pat, let me ask you this. Pat, let me ask you this about tonight's game, and let's go talk about. Did you mention
it was Bills bad? Game? It was bad. It was bad offensively. It was defensively great, but offensively there ain't nothing to talk about, Matty.
So, when you watch a game like this from the Eagles offensively, and we've been watching this all season long. It's again, I want to put that in context too. It's just how it's been all season, really. I mean, the man's at least completed a pass in all the other games, right, and a half. But tonight has really much been the offense in a nutshell through 16 games. Now the defense.
The only thing I can think of is just that when he's passing for like 140 yards a game, we win. 180 yards, we win. I mean, like I don't know who's calling these. I don't know if it's him or the coordinator or the head coach. I think all three of them just need to go in the offseason. Listen, clean house, and that's it. Like, and A.J. Brown, he don't want to be here. He could have caught that ball with one hand. I mean, Odell Beckham did it with a glove, and this guy couldn't catch that ball with one hand.
Yeah. Listen, that was a beautiful pass. That was an outstanding pass by Hurts.
He don't want to be. He don't want to be here. He don't want to be here. He don't care no more.
Didn't like being in the rain.
Did he complain after the game? Oh no, he didn't, because the Eagles won the game. Only when they lose. Or something, where he's not catching balls or whatever, but he don't ever. Yeah.
A.J. Brown finished with reception for 68 yards tonight, as well as the leading receiver on the Eagles. But listen, let's talk about Josh Allen, Papernick. Let's talk about Josh.
He's a fraud. He's a fraud too.
He is. Listen, the Eagles defense contained him. The guy was not healthy. He's not 100%, but not a lot of people are at this point in the season. I'm not giving that as an excuse, but he's still. In that dominating performance, the Eagle defense stifled him time and time again, but they just kept coming at him. Now, again, it's a lot to do with the Eagle offense being incompetent, but you're in a situation, last play of the game, I mean, come on. How does he miss that throw? I mean, the guy's wide open coming across the end zone, man. How do you miss that?
Elite. He's a top. All I keep hearing. Listen, I think Josh is a top 5 quarterback. I mean, because that's how bad the quarterback situation in the NFL is. But I mean, he's a top 5 quarterback. He shouldn't miss that throw. I mean, their coaching staff is just as bad as the Eagles for the last 5 years.
I agree.
Sean McDermott should not be a head coach in the NFL. He's a Jim Johnson disciple, which means he should just be a defensive coordinator. He was a good defensive coordinator with Carolina before he became a head coach. Once you become a head coach, he's like Josh McDaniels. Get out of that. He's North Turner. Get out of it. Go back with Fitz. That's the bottom line with that. But I get what you're saying about Josh. But and what kills me, what I hear about Josh is like, oh, he's not the one who lost to the Bills. Okay, you're right. Everybody tells me. I mean, lost to the Chiefs. Everybody tells me this up here. I guess you live up in upstate New York. But, you hear it probably too. This dude is 0-4 against the Chiefs. Okay, they traded away Stephon Diggs, who had 107 catches because Josh and him didn't get along. Now, do you know his leading receiver this year only has like 66, 67 catches this year for under 800 yards?
Isn't it Kincaid?
So whose fault's that? No, it's Shakur. Kincaid is second with like 36 catches. Yeah. That's their second leading receiver. Now maybe Coleman might be because he's hurt, but when I looked, it was Shakir and Kincaid. When you're the big fish in a little pond like he is in Buffalo, you go to ownership and you say, "Get me a DK Metcalf." I'm talking the offseason. DK Metcalf. You get me a Devontae Adams. Get me somebody in that stature that I need over here to help us get over the hump.
AJ Brown
to work with me. Maybe step on him. Maybe whatever.
A.J. Brown.
No, A.J. Brown's going to New England. No, he's going to New England. That's right. No, he's going to New England. That's where he's from. That's where he'll get. I think if I'm a bet man, he's not. I'm 99% they're going to try. New England will take a shot at him. The Eagles get a third, maybe a fifth, maybe a fourth and fifth round pick for him. the Eagles might, or 3rd and 5th. I think New England would you pair him with Stephon Diggs. I don't know, man. Yeah, and that's where I'm going. That's what I'm saying. Like all these, the Eagles are frauds. They're going to knock down the Buffalo's bigger frauds. I don't want to get them fans up here. Matty, I was out tonight, right, and I was in the bar with these people. You got to hear this story. And they're all cheering because they all got sad. And I said, listen, you guys can go out when they're losing. You go out and have the parade because you ain't going to have one anyway at the end of another month. You might as well just do it now, even though you're losing. Just go out and have your parade. I'm in there with my Eagles jersey on, and there's about 30 Buffalo Bills fans. I don't care. And they're all looking at me like, what are you doing here? Oh, it's great.
That's good stuff.
The Eagles' offense is hot,
man. You got to represent.
Let me just say this: the Eagles' offense is done. They're toast. I bet you they put 30 points up against Washington next week and then stink it up in the first round of the playoffs.
Well, Tanner McKee's going to play next week against the Commanders.
They're not getting past the second round. If they get past the first, this defense will tire out. No, this defense is going to tire out, Matty. Come on.
That's a concern. That's a major concern of this defense because they're carrying this football team right now. Now the homers don't want to hear that. No, man. What did Mike Kaepernick say earlier in the postgame? There's a possible playbook out there that they're not running during the regular season because they're holding it up for the playoffs.
Months ago, that's what he said. Mike's my point, but he said that months ago. He said that like 2 months ago. I actually went with it for a moment. Then I had to think about it. I had clarity in my brain. That really the Eagles are going to hold back their playbook till January to let Jalen Hurts run loose.
Yeah, no, maybe they are. Bad.
No, I don't. Let me look. They couldn't put points up against Green Bay after the break. They couldn't put points up against. Well, they did against Detroit. They couldn't put against Dallas. They couldn't put points up against the Bears. They couldn't put points up against the Chargers. I mean, the Raiders, the Washington. They put one touchdown against the Bills. They'll probably put 40 points up next week. So, I mean, if people want to live off that, I don't know.
Kaepernick, they will. Instead of accepting the reality that this team is what they are offensively, and it's not enough. Listen, I said at the top of the show, your defense can carry you. We've seen it before. I mentioned the 85 Bears, but McMahon had an offense. The 90 Ravens, I mean, that was a team that was carried by their defense. Dilfer sucked.
But this ain't this ain't the 85 or 90 Bears defense. This ain't their defense. No,
I agree. But they can carry you to a certain point.
I don't know about that.
You got to get the offense to score some points, man. This is pathetic. 16 games. We're still talking about the same problem with the offense.
But whose fault is it? Is it Hayes? Is it the HC, the OC, or Jalen, or a combination of all three, or just the offense in general? Because you got two of the top. You got Brown and Smith, and neither one of them can get open. That tells me if they can't get open, they're not even a top 15 wide receiver duo in the NFL.
Or they're getting open, and Hurts is either afraid to put it in there, or he's checking them down too late, and then they're not open anymore.
Well, that's been his MO since day one. Yeah. That's been his MO since day one. That he goes through his progression slow. I only saw maybe in this year, I saw maybe 2-3 times where they did a 1-2, maybe a 3, and he got the ball out real fast. I don't know why they ain't doing that, but I mean, they ain't got no running game. And if Brown don't get the ball, if Brown gets the ball, Goddard's X'd out for the game. Smith only gets about 3 catches. So, I mean, I'm going to leave with this, Matty. It's fool's gold. I love my Eagles, but next week they'll put 40 points up. They'll probably maybe win one playoff game if they're lucky. If they ain't getting past the second round because they're not beating the Rams. I hate to say that one. If they got to play the Rams or the Bears, they're done. They're done. They're toast, and they're fools for even trying because now they're getting further down in the line for a draft pick when they should have probably just said screw it and let Dallas win the division. Like it's going to be a big deal. They would have got knocked out in the first round. They would.
Yeah, we'll see. And Kaepernick, thanks for calling in, man. And don't forget, we're
Matt, you have a good night.
Much all week. Yeah, you too, Kaepernick.
All right, I'll be here. All right, bye.
All right, man. Mike Kaepernick, man, dropping the truth bombs, man. Dropping the truth bombs. All cannot play with no stars. Yeah. Rams and Bills. Bills and Rams wins were unlikely as losing the Cowboys and Broncos games. So Bills and Rams wins were as unlikely as losing the Cowboys and Broncos game. They were beaten by the Broncos pretty handily, and they were beaten by the Cowboys pretty handily as well. Matter of fact, they should have lost both games to the goddamn Cowboys. Miles Sanders fumbled down by the goal line in game one was the kind of the turnaround in that game. I'll give you the Bills and Rams wins. They were somewhat unlikely. I guess it all balances out, man. I don't know, but it's definitely not play that you expect to have from the defending Super Bowl champs. That's all I'm trying to say. Who was my favorite Eagles quarterback, Matty? What do you think, like, of all time, Adam? You asking me who, like, my go-to? We've had this discussion. I lead in with the patron saint of the final word every night. I don't know if he's my favorite, but I would have to probably, if again, I talked about this last week. This team has been devoid, and one of the things that we can honestly say when you analyze the quarterback position throughout the Eagles' history, I mean, except going way back to Van Brocklin into the 50s, we don't really, the well's pretty shallow. But if you ask me, I'd probably rank them one and two. Cunningham and Foles were my two favorite quarterbacks in Eagle history. Cunningham, because can you imagine what Randall Cunningham would do with this offense? Can you imagine what Randall Cunningham would do with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith? Eagles would be winning games 68 to 10. Can you imagine what Randall Cunningham would be doing with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith? Hell, you imagine what Nick Foles would be doing with them too. So I guess I would have to say Randall and Nick. Jalen Carter by far. Yeah, I think so. Hurts huggers. You like that? That's coined by me, by the way. I own that one. For those of you out there, I made that up on the fly. It's Hurts huggers, owned by MattyB. Jan Austin didn't complete a second half pass versus the Bucs earlier this year. Was that in that game, the Baker Mayfield late touchdown or late interception game? I forgot about that. See? If Jalen was going to throw for less than 50% completion percentage and 110 yards, he's got to run the ball. He's got to do something. They got to keep the ball moving. And again, we're sitting here talking in week 17, thinking that the offense is going to shake off this problem. They're going to kick into another gear. This is the gear they're in, man. I've never in my life, ever, even last year, this offense stinks. They stink. And they're being paid like $250 kajillion million. Now, what's the problem? What is the problem? That's the $1 million question. Is it Sirianni? Is it Padula? Is it the offensive line's issues? Is it Hurts? I think it's one of those issues, right? I'm not blaming the wide receivers for not getting open. I'm not blaming Dallas Goedert for not getting open. I'm not blaming Saquon Barkley for being tired. Some idiot said that he might be tired from last year. The same idiot also said that the Eagle offensive line might be tired. I'm not blaming fatigue. So, is it Padula? Is it Sirianni? Is it the offensive line? Or is it Jalen Hurts? Or is it a combination of something or all of them? And we're getting to that point of the season. Yes, we're at the precipice of the playoffs. We're at the precipice of the playoffs, and here I am talking about what is wrong with the offense. Because we got to get to the bottom of it. We're not getting to the bottom of it this year, right? We already know that. This is it. They're going to go into games in 2 weeks against the top echelon of the National Football Conference, except if they have to play Carolina or Tampa. Then that's not one of them. But beyond that, the best that the NFC has to offer in 2025. In 2 weeks. It's the defense. Go out there and win us again, boys. We need your help. Because right now we're averaging, as a team, as an offense in 2025, we're averaging 10 points in second half offensive production. for the season. 10 on the nosy. 0 points tonight. They've scored 160 points in the second half of football games in 2025 for 10 points a game. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I was being sarcastic. I know you were. We're just having some fun. If the offense looked good last year with the same players, then it's obvious that it's the coach. Well, hang on. Let's back that Brinks truck right up. Okay. What was the main thing? The main thing about this offense in 2020? I cannot believe I'm actually going to have this conversation with you. What is the main thing that the Eagle offense had going forward in 2024 that it hadn't had going for previous seasons or even previous to week 4 of the 2024 season? What was that thing? I'll give you 2,500 seconds to figure out what that main thing was. It was Saquon Barkley, hands down. I've said this over and over again, too. If I rank the top 3 factors that got the Eagles to that Super Bowl last year and that championship last year, if I had to rank the top 3, number 1, 2, and 3 reasons that they were Super Bowl champions in order of precedence of 3, 2, 1, it would be Saquon Barkley, the defense, Jalen Hurts. And I also doubled down on that statement by saying if you removed Saquon Barkley from the factors of 2024, you're not winning a Super Bowl. If you remove the defense from the factors of 2024, you're not winning a Super Bowl. But if you remove Jalen Hurts from his contributions in 2024, I think you still win the Super Bowl. I'm just saying, that's the ways I sees it. A team that imploded down the stretch in 2023. A team that got off to a 2-2 start in 2024. That before they said, you know what, Kellen Moore and Lane Johnson, whoever pounding on the desk like Rudy saying, here, coach, here's my jersey. If we goddamn have to throw the ball again, I'm not playing. I don't know what the breaking point was, but I do know it was 2-2 heading into the bye week. They decided to change the offensive game plan and focus on the run game. 2,500 yards later, they're Super Bowl champions. Why can't we just hone in on the number one reason why this offense struggles? Could it be the play calling? Yeah. Could it be the head coach? Absolutely. Could it be the quarterback? Guess what? Yes, it can. It can be the quarterback of why this offense struggles so much. And it can be Jalen Hurts. I've said it. Kevin Abdul is a hot candidate for a job in 2026, head coaching wise. Why? If you ask us, he's terrible. Right? If you ask Eagles fans, he's terrible. But maybe we don't see something that the rest of the NFL insiders see. The guys that are actually in the operations departments of these teams. Maybe they see he's getting what he's getting out of the Eagle offense based on all the limitations with the quarterback, based on what's ever going on with Saquon, based on whatever the health problems are with the offensive line. He's getting that much production out of them. That's amazing. We want a guy like that on our football team. I don't know any other reason that he could be even on somebody's short list. Now we're going to find out here when's Black Monday? Next week? We're going to see just how much of a hot commodity he is. 21-0 lead over Dallas, 17-0 lead over Denver. They were not like, yes, they are. In this day and age, absolutely. I've seen 24-point leads dissolve in a matter of a few minutes. I've seen the Eagles, blow leads like that or come back from game. That's commonplace in 2025, man. It's commonplace. 17-3 lead. Yeah, again, it's commonplace, though. It is. It's the way the league is set up now. It's the parity of the league. Hell, they were up 13-0 today and almost lost it on the last play of the game. I'm not buying. Okay, let's use that. It lends back to the theory that this football team, through 16 games, has not really played a complete game but one time. One time you can sit back and say, you know what, that was a fundamentally great 60 minutes of football, and that was against the Raiders. Every other game you can critique about how this was missing, that was missing, this wasn't working, that wasn't working. Every other game, except for the Raider game. That's the only game that the Super Bowl champions, you can sit back and say, that's my team right there, baby. Man, they put an ass whooping on the JV Raiders, boy. Woohoo! I'm proud to be an Eagle fan. Come on. Man, why are we doing this to ourselves? Again, this is part of the problem with the Eagles. Kevin Abdul is a... Again, listen, I wouldn't hire him. I'm not saying I would, but his name is out there, right? There's a whole little subculture world going on out there where these people, they know each other. They talk back and forth. I mean, how did Nick Sirianni get a job? I mean, let's face it. What the hell did he do to get a job? I mean, this guy's a worse play caller than, what's the one thing we say? Take play calling responsibilities away from Patullo, but don't give them back to Sirianni. I mean, what the hell, man? I mean, what are we doing here? But yet Sirianni got a head coaching job. I mean, think about it that way. It's pretty mind-boggling, if you ask me. You have to give us a short list of the bad teams with general managers who have no clue. Nah, Sirianni was also on a short list of a freaking GM who has no clue, if you ask me. Honest question. If Kellen Moore was still here, the offense struggles badly. If they could not figure out what the hell's going on with Saquon Barkley, yes. Yes. I 100% agree. And I'm being honest. If Saquon Barkley, if he's still having the same problems that he had with this year, then yes, I do. I still think they struggle because we've seen it in the past, right? Again, we've seen it with Kellen Moore. We've seen it with Kellen Moore. We saw it with freaking who was before it, Steichen, Johnson. We've seen it before with all of them. With the one exception being the 2022 season, everything he did turned to gold. But after that or before that, 21 was his rookie year. Kind of hard to gauge a quarterback there. 23. The offense didn't run right. It ran better than this, but the offense didn't run right. 24, it didn't run right for the first 4 games. And then they went run heavy, and it ran great. This year, I said it heading into the season, all honesty. If Saquon Barkley cannot replicate, not duplicate, but replicate what he did in 2024, I have concerns that you're going to put the responsibility back on Jalen Hurts, who has yet to prove in that role he can be successful. So again, just the way I see it. Sirianni is a yes man. Howie. Sirianni was on the Eagles short list. There were no other teams battling the Eagles for again. And I know it was a sort of a late to the party type move. The Doug Peterson thing was sort of out of left field, right? Doug was going to have to fire his boy, and he said he's not. And they gave him the vote of confidence first, said he's fine, he's not getting fired. And then 10 days later, he was fired because he wouldn't fire his offensive coordinator friend. That's my point. With Kellen Moore would have run the same crappy plays over and over. We don't know. Again, I don't know. But again, Kellen Moore, prior to them just coming to the moment of Jesus with Saquon Barkley, was trying to unlock the mystery of Jalen Hurts' passing abilities. He was. And they were 2-2 in that process. Right? I can't sit here and tell you what Kellen Moore would be doing right now. Maybe he would try something different. Maybe Tanner McKee would be in there. I don't know. I don't know. I honestly can't answer that question. Nobody can answer that question. Kellen Moore would probably kill. Where's Kellen Moore at now in New Orleans? He'd probably kill for Tanner McKee right now. I try to trade Nick to Cleveland for an number 1 pick if he's such a hot commodity. Man. Nick Sirianni to the Browns? That's right. You can do that, right? You can trade coaches now. Man, that city would burn if they decided to do that. Oh, man. Ooh. Oh. All right, listen, Eagles 13-12 winners, but we're still figuring out, or I've cracked the code, folks, as you can tell by the title of the show. The Eagles' identity in 2025 is the defense will take us as far as they can, and after that, we pray to God it's in Santa Clara on February 14th, 2026, Levi Stadium, holding a Super Bowl trophy. We pray to God that that's as far as they can take us, because that's where we're headed. You're getting nothing from your offense. You haven't gotten anything from your offense sustainable consistently all season. And tonight was another chapter in the book of why Jalen Hurts is not an elite quarterback. I'm sorry. Yeah, the Hurts huggers, man. I know you guys are hurting. I know you are. I know you want to leap off the bridge, or you want to come at me so badly right now. I can sense it out there. I can sense you guys want to tear me apart, but you can't. You can't. Yeah, because you know I'm right. You know I'm right. Oh man, I wouldn't trade it. Don Shula, Bill Parcells, Bill Belichick, John Gruden, Herm Edwards, Bruce Arians, and Sean Payton were all traded. Yeah, that's right, they were. That's right, Payton was traded to the Broncos, wasn't he? Yeah. I don't pay attention to the trading market for coaches. Yeah, that's right. Somebody traded for Herm Edwards? What the hell did that? But all right, let's move on to the other part of it. I got one more. For all Eagles fans that are not delusional that our Eagles will not make it past the first or second round of the playoffs. Listen, Peppernick, I think so what is it now? Heading into next week, you got all the marbles in Carolina between the Carolina Panthers and the Buccaneers, right? Are the Eagles pretty much entrenched in that number 3 spot? Are we waiting to see what happens tonight or tomorrow or tonight in San Francisco? Is it trending towards Green Bay? Is that who we're trending towards? Are we trending towards the 49ers? Are we trending towards as MPTR 1783? Are we trending towards the Rams? Interesting game there. Am I taking the Rams in that? I don't know. They'll have to save me grace over the Eagles, though. It's going to be a home game, right? And that's going to be tough for the Rams. I don't know if they'll get snow like they did last year. And, of course, we'll re-dissect that playoff game last year because that thing wasn't as far out of hand as a lot of people remember it to be. We have this feeling that we sprinted right past the Rams. We did not. That game came down to 2 plays that ended the Rams in the snow. So we'll get into that if it's Eagles and Rams. That's probably the worst matchup you could want in the first round, right? Eagles and Rams. Please don't sugarcoat or give the homers any feeling of good. Michael Patrick can't say they're toast with our defense. No, he can't. But again, as we've alluded to, how far can they take us? How far can they really do it? At some point, and Papernick corrected me, maybe I'm disrespecting the 2000 Ravens defense and the 85 Bears defense by putting them in the same category with the 2025 Eagles defense. They're good, and they are winning football games literally on their own, and they've done it all season. But maybe it's too much to ask because now you're looking at what? Wild card divisional, 4 more games. You got to get 4 more games out of them on the biggest stage, the biggest moment. Every play is so friggin' critical. You're asking an awful lot for a group that's gotten you to this point single-handedly. It is asking a lot. Is it impossible? No. Is it improbable? Eh. I'm sorry, if the offense doesn't come to some sort of like competency moment, they're not winning a Super Bowl. They're not. Their defense is going to go until they cannot go anymore, but they're going to, at some point, the offense has got to support them. And up to this point, through 16 games, it has not happened. It has not happened. And to sit here and talk, and I'm going to go through it one more time because we're running late, but I'm going to go into it one more time. I'm going to give it one more shot in the ass. Stop it with the Jalen Hurts is elite nonsense. He's not. He's not elite. I've never heard so many negatives, like connotations or stats or just like philosophical issues with an elite quarterback before in my life. Stop it with the Jalen Hurts is elite nonsense. He's a good quarterback, effective in an offense that somehow finds how to like run it through him or tailor it to him, with the Saquon Barkley that's rushing for 25 or accumulating over 2,500 all-purpose yards. But if you're asking Jalen Hurts to take this team up on his shoulders and carry them into the Super Bowl winner circle, it is not going to happen. It's not. And I think we've seen enough to see that. He needs help. And right now he's getting it, but he's given absolutely nothing in return. Oh, man. Let's be real. Today's game was heavily affected by the weather, and no, I'm not a Jalen Hurts jockster. No, it's a Hurts hugger. On this show, they're called Hurts huggers. And I'm not going to give the I'm not doing that. There was one turnover today. I know Allen fumbled once, but there was one turnover today. He fumbled twice. I thought they were moving the ball pretty well in the weather. The kicking games were kind of screwed up on the Bills side, but that wasn't because of the weather, I don't think. I think, honestly, they played well through the weather. I'm not going to sit here and say that. I'm not giving that excuse. Don't forget, we're getting into January, right? They're lucky that it wasn't like 15 degrees colder. It would have been a damn blizzard, all right? You can't do that. I don't hear people talking last year against the Rams in the playoffs. Well, the Rams only lost because of the weather. It was affected by the weather. No, we were patting ourselves in the back saying the Eagles are on the way to Super Bowl. No, don't use the weather as an excuse. That's what I heard. You can't. Nah, I'm not going there, ever. San Francisco, Seattle for December 1 for the NFC. Yeah, so they're battling for the bye. Padulo is saving the real playbook for the playoffs. Listen, Mike was joking. He says he was being sarcastic, but maybe deep down he's hoping that way. I don't know. Maybe deep down a lot of Eagles fans are feeling that. Maybe there's a playbook that they're not running yet. Maybe they're going to run the annexation of Puerto Rico in the wild card game and break it all apart, man. I don't know, man. The Eagles offense is the Phillies 2024. Yeah, it's going to be pretty bad. The Tua and Kyler Murray are probably both going to be available next year. Jalen's former college mates. That's right. Both of them lost their jobs. Yeah. And then the Hurts huggers. Yeah. All right, listen, we're going to, I guess we're going to end on that. I'm going to save the card. We'll save the prospect or the of the night segment till tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow night. Remember, in about an hour or so, I don't even know where the Flyers game's at right now, but in an hour or so, the Flyers will be wrapping things up in Seattle, and Mike Lauer will have you on the Clear to the Ice Flyer post-game show, so make sure you're here. And then there's a schedule for the rest of the Flyers week. A busy week as they're back from the holiday break, looking to kind of capitalize on some really solid hockey heading into the break, and hopefully they can do that out west. And then here's your schedule for the rest of this week. Tomorrow, the Pittsburgh Sports Tonight program, followed by me. On Tuesday, the Pittsburgh Sports Tonight, props, locks, parlays, final word, and then Clear the Ice. So I'll be doing basically the 9 o'clock final word on Tuesday. The Canuck game is going to be over like around 1 a.m., so I'm going to come back and do post-game for that. So you're going to get double dose of me on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, New Year's Eve, our best of the week of It's a Wrap Sports, 8 o'clock through until nothing after 4, because at 4 o'clock, the Birds Blast with Kyle Quinn will happen, where I'll have Kyle in studio and we'll be talking about this magnificent piece of work as well as looking ahead potentially past the Commanders game. I don't know if we're going to spend time breaking that thing down, but looking at possibly the playoffs. So make sure, Kyle, you're here for me and Kyle at 4 p.m. on New Year's Eve. Post-game Flyers Flames a little later on New Year's Eve. I'll be there for that. So there'll be no final words. I'm going to try to sandwich in a New Year's Eve celebration between the Birds Blast and the final Clear the Ice. So somewhere in there, I'm going to try to get New Year's Eve in, and I'll be back for the post-game show, Flyers Flames. And then on New Year's Day, we're probably going to do some more best of, and then I'll wrap it up at 9 p.m. On Thursday with the final word, and then here's your weekend. So all the greatness that is the It's a Wrap Sports Network coming at you hot and heavy in the 2026. So make sure you guys are there. And all the Eagles fans, please don't have confidence. What? All true Eagles fans, please don't have confidence. Wow. I mean that Michael's got a point. Kaepernick does have a point. I know they're never going to admit to that, but deep down they're struggling. 13 minutes left in a 1-0. So we're about to go final, I guess. So 2-0. Seattle is up in the third. Oh, it's going off the offense out there. But hopefully they'll make a comeback. Mike Lara will have you for it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night on the final word with MattyB. So until then, I know in certain parts of the country right now, we're dealing with some weather issues with the rain. It's turning into ice, and it's making some really bad road situations out there. So if you're in those areas and you're affected by that, just hunker down, get warm, listen to me, and I'll see you through this emergency. Just me and you together, mano y mano. All right, we'll get through it together. Papernick says good show. Thank you, Michael Papernick. Thank you for calling. Also says Happy New Year, you too. We will talk again prior to the New Year, so I will give you my my New Year's happiness too. But listen, on the like, share, and subscribe front, I'm not one to actively promote that, but because I love, obviously we want it, and we've gone over 200 subscriptions on YouTube, and I'm very happy about that. So thank you very much. Thank you to all the hard work of the guys. And as we wrap up 2025, of course, I'll pause and thank the number one contributor to this network, me. Now I'll sit back and obviously give the proper due to the proper people that have made 2025 our very first full calendar year as a network. Very successful. We literally went from 0 YouTube subscriptions to over 200 in like one calendar year. And that's very impressive. And I want to thank you guys. And we're building something special here. We're still at the basement floor, but we're starting to expand upwards a little bit. A lot more content showing up. People, the Pittsburgh guys have been, it's been amazing with them. We're continuing that partnership and all this stuff that we're doing here. The three of us, me, Mike, and Al. And if you are out there and you want to get involved and you think you can do this, I'm always open to hear and to recruiting new talent. So please, our emails are flashing underneath there on the ticker thing. Reach out either through our social media sites or email, and we'll see what we can do. I can promise you one thing, an opportunity, and that's all. What you do with that opportunity is totally up to you. But yeah, we're always on the lookout for more talent as we careen into 2026. Then, of course, it's all going to get real fun here in the end of March when we got to get the Fighting's final back up and running. So if you're out there and you think you can do this, reach out, get in touch with me, and we'll go from there. So until we talk again tomorrow, make sure you're sticking around a little bit later on for the Clear the Ice. Until we talk tomorrow, you guys have a great Sunday night. Eagles win 13-12, and all is not right in the world of Eagles Nation. All right. You guys take care. Have a good night.